Hey guys, I'm Combat Craig, and today we're talking about eligibility for VA healthcare for veterans that were exposed to toxins and burn pits and other hazards. And this includes at home, CONUS, right, or abroad. So VA healthcare is different. The VHA is different than the VBA, but they do play off of each other. So back in like 2000, early 2000s, I found out I was eligible because I'm a veteran. And I went in and, yeah, sorry, Mr. Combat Craig, we don't have you in the system. It's like, so, what do you have? You have my social, like you tell us in the military, right? Yes, but I'm not in the VHA system. So I had to jump through hoops just to get a card. I wasn't even service connected at the time, just a card so I could move to the next step. That took days or weeks. So just getting into the Veterans Health Administration is challenging to say the least. And getting benefits, more challenges, more games. So what's changing here is if you are exposed to burn pits, hazards, toxins, and you meet certain criteria, which is you are in a place or you have exposure, you can go in and you don't need to have a VA disability rating at all. You'll bypass the whole thing that I had to go through. You'll get the card. This is a new article posted on the VA's website. I'll put a link in the description below. And it basically says all veterans who are exposed to toxins and other hazards while serving in the military, at home, or abroad are now eligible to enroll in VA healthcare. This is also an election year, so, whatever. Take this with a grain of salt or be political. I'm not going to be. As directed by President Biden, this expansion of VA healthcare eliminates the phased-in approach called for by the PACT Act. Part of the PACT Act, there's a phase-in process of 8 years. And basically what they're doing is, I don't know if it's directed by President Biden, we'll go with it. Oh yeah, we'll go with it because Secretary McDonough works for Biden, right? That switches back and forth every 4 to 8 years whenever we have a switchover. One of the reasons why government's so challenging to work with, VA specifically. So they're going to speed up this process. And instead of waiting for 8 more years, they're going to do it now. If you're exposed to burn pits or other hazards, look on the website, go to the VA's website, that's what this is, and click on the links for eligibility and see, were you in this place at this time? That could qualify you. Do you have this thing from, this place and this time? Even if this is your first time attempting something with the VA, getting into the VA healthcare system and filing a claim if you have burn pit exposure. Not saying that this is always a high-paying claim. It's usually low, but at least you can get points on the board. Watch my hundreds of other videos about points on the board. Basically, that works like you have your service connected for one thing, and then you can lob on secondaries. That's the way we play this game. If your goal is to get the highest VA disability rating possible, you file secondary VA claims. So there's 2 types of exposures here. We have CONUS and overseas. A lot of people think that since you weren't deployed, you weren't around this stuff. Well, guess where they mix these hot cocktails up? Here most of the time, I would guess. I don't have inside information. I'm sure they mixed it up all sorts of illegal places they weren't supposed to be doing. And take a look at the 50 bases that weren't included on the PACT Act. McClellan, El Toro, just to name a few. So this expansion covers many veterans who were never deployed as part of a conflict, but were exposed to toxins or hazards while serving in the military. Specifically, under this expansion of care, any veteran who participated in toxic exposure risk activity, TERA, at home or abroad is eligible for VA healthcare. So think about it like this. If you're around it at all, you may qualify. Find out if you actually do qualify. I got, just an aside, I got the label of combat veteran because I was in a certain place at a certain time, Desert Storm. Didn't ask for that label. They just stuck it on me. So you may already have this label on you, toxin risk. So you may be able to call the 800 number and they can tell you right off the bat if you are or not. But dig deeper. If you think you're in the right place and you think you have the symptoms that show your exposure, Make sure you get all your ducks in a row before you make that call, because you want to make that call, get the card, get seen, then file a claim for it, get some points on the boards, and then run it up to 100 or whatever VA disability rating you think you should have. I think that veterans that are all screwed up from being in the military, which is a lot of us, majority of us, should be rated at 100%. I've just talked to a lot of veterans, and I know how this is in my life and how I didn't even know. A lot of these conditions did stem from the military. I think a lot more veterans deserve a 100% rating, or at least a higher rating, 80 or 90%, because we all got screwed up in the military. Somehow or another, it made life worse. You know, think about it. Brainwashing, boot camp. A lot of people didn't even make it out of that. So everybody's story is different. I'm not here to judge who should get what disability. You have to do that on your own. And as far as, if it's fair or not, you figure out what's fair for you, pursue that rating. You got to get in the door first. This may be a way to do it, and I'll see you in the next video.